Have you ever felt completely stuck? Like you're trapped in a situation you can't escape. Right now, I'm in that place. I am currently stuck until my contract is up in June at my job. And honestly, it's been really frustrating. I felt anger, restlessness. I've wanted to lash out at people. I've been just a complete mess. And sometimes I have to sit back and reframe myself. And instead of letting it consume me as a person, I've been exploring how to turn this energy and transform it into something powerful. After all, I am a powerful creator. In this video, I really want to share my personal journey and shamanic wisdom on dealing with anger and feeling stuck. Because sometimes the moments that feel like prisons are actually initiations onto something great and even better than you could have ever imagined. So from a spiritual perspective, feeling stuck isn't just bad luck. I think a lot of times we stick ourselves into a box. I'm having a hard time. I'm a victim of my circumstance. I don't know how I'm going to escape this. Life is really unfair. It isn't just bad luck. It's an invitation. In shamanism, we talk about initiations. Tests from the universe that really push us as individuals to grow. Right now, in my life, I can see this as a period of being a test. Can I stay present and trust the process even when I want to run? Can I respond and not react to the stimuli? Can I work on what's going in within myself and live in love and live in presence to have my outside world reflect that onto me? Can I use this frustration as fuel instead of letting it drain me? We have a few lessons in life. For example, we get lessons from nature. Trees don't rush to grow. They stay rooted through the storms. They, have a very solid foundation. They withstand so much. They are so powerful. And trees give out so much wisdom in what they know. And if you've ever spent time under a tree or in a forest, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It has such a grounding impact because they sit there in silence and in strength and in their power. And they don't let the storm wither, who they are. They can go through forest fires and still grow back even stronger. And another thing we can look at is seeing stagnation as a cocoon. Growth is happening, even if you can't see it. I think a lot of times my energy will go through periods of stagnation. I will say to myself, I don't know if I'm in my power. I don't know if my energy's really there. I feel like my psychic gifts are out of whack. I just feel like blah, and if you've been there like me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And sometimes we are going through the inner work. We are working through that within ourselves. We are weathering the storm like the big trees. We are rebuilding after a forest fire because we've had to let go and destroy the relationships and destroy the job and to even move across the country and You're kind of feeling like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Because I feel very stagnant. And even being at this job, in my example, right? I'm in this job. I feel very stagnant. I feel out of place. I feel weird. But I'm also creating something on the side. I feel it deep within my soul, deep within me, that I am creating something so remarkable that when I'm done in June, I'm going to understand what this was all about. And of course, we have to take into account the importance of surrender. We are surrendering to the universe. We are surrendering to ourselves. We're surrendering to the situation that we are in. And when we fight reality, in return, it only creates suffering. I have to remind myself every single day that this isn't forever. Even though I want to play a victim, even though I want to be miserable in reality sometimes, if that makes sense. Like, I'm such a victim. Look at how this job's going. I can't believe I have to be here for another 2 months. I can't believe I have to wake up every day and go somewhere. Well, go to this job and have to do this. Even I don't want to be there. I feel like I could use better use of my time. And instead, I have to reframe myself and reframe the situation and say, you know what, Victoria, you need to surrender to this. You are not a victim of your reality. Quit acting in a victim mentality. And, maybe, just maybe, there's something here I still need to learn before I move on. And to be honest, there is. To be honest, if I want to go out into this world and work for myself, I'm going to have to surrender to a lot of what I'm going through right now through these lessons at my current job, working with people, working in difficult situations. And you know what? The most important lesson that I'm learning right now is to always listen to your intuition and to yourself. Because if I would have listened to my intuition and to myself, I would have never been in this job. You see, I would have never went through the 3 previous jobs that I've had. I would have listened to my soul and listened to myself and realized that I needed to be working for myself since 2020. But you see, I had limited beliefs. I had the scarcity mindset that I needed to be making money. I needed to have job security. I needed a W-2. And, that's not always going to help you in the long run. And in turn, I became miserable and becoming a victim of my circumstance. But my shamanic training has taught me that I am not a victim of my circumstance. Instead, I am a powerful co-creator in this world. And with the help of myself and my spirit guides, I am able to move through this, to learn the lessons that I need to learn, and then in turn transmute this energy into something powerful. Let's be real for a second. Anger is powerful, but if we don't handle it well, it turns into resentment. It turns into bitterness or even self-destruction. Shamanism teaches that emotions are energy. Of course, we have the energy body. And we always need that energy to move through us. We do not need to harbor on that. We need to feel the emotions that are coming up and to let it go. So instead of just harboring these very powerful emotions of angerness, of bitterness, of resentment, and then just exploding like a volcano, which is wild, I've been practicing ways to channel it. So what are some ways that I have used this to transmute my energy? One of them is drumming and movement. So in shamanic traditions, we have the very powerful drumming. And if you're ever like, oh, where can I look up drumming? Honestly, look up shamanic drumming here on YouTube. There are plenty of very skilled drummers on here. I'm a drummer myself and lead people through that experience of transmuting their energy or finding answers to the issues that are coming up. And you can really just, you have no idea the powerfulness that comes, because when you are empowered from the drumming and when you realize that you are a powerful co-creator, there's nothing that can stop you. And then you can shake your body, shake it off to release it. So drumming, my body's shaking to release, because we're releasing the trauma, we're releasing the anger. Another really powerful thing that I've learned in my shamanic work as well is that, and what I have done plenty of times, is journaling and a fire ritual. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down the frustrations that you're having, or what you wish to get rid of your reality, whatever that is. But write down what is making you resentful, what is making you angry, what is making you bitter, what's making you jealous. You write that down on a piece of paper. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that piece of paper, you're going to rip it up, and we're going to then throw it into the fire. And it's really cool to watch a fire ritual take place, because it feels like the fire is then transmuting that energy. You're giving it back to earth. You're giving earth to transmute that. Pachamama. And Pachamama is going to take care of that for you. And it feels so powerful after you're done, because you feel like you've, gotten rid of that. It's gotten rid of your body. The earth has taken care of it, and it feels good. And of course, you can do breath work, a really powerful technique. I've learned quite a few different ways to do breath work while on my journey. And one of the ways that you can do it is you inhale deeply, hold for 4 seconds, then exhale with a big sigh. Wow. And see, for me just now, that just released so much for me, and I feel like even more empowered, and I feel really good. And you can do that for as long as you feel called to do that. It's going to release the stored tension in your body. You can also take in the breath and then focus on an area of your body that you feel the tension. So if you're feeling angry, you're going to feel that tension up in your shoulders or up in your neck. And you can work like that. And lastly, one of the things I do is I talk to my spirit guides. In shamanic tradition, you work very closely with your spirit guides, and you can ask them, what is this anger trying to teach me? And a lot of times the answer comes in the most unexpected ways, and I'm always you laugh kind of when your spirit guides in the universe or whatever you believe in comes in to give you the answer that you've needed. And you're like, oh my gosh, you're right. Absolutely. And now I understand what this is trying to teach me and how I can go about this in a better way. So here's a challenge for you. How do you find freedom when you feel trapped? How do you find freedom when you feel trapped? It all starts with shifting your perspective, of course. Instead of saying, I'm stuck at this job, I hate it, it sucks, you can say, how can I use my time more wisely? What is this teaching me? And Even though I can't leave my job yet, I personally create moments of spiritual freedom. I do my morning meditations. I work out every single morning. I weight lift, I do yoga, and I get my steps in. Why? Because that's time for me to where I can feel empowered. I attend spiritual classes. I teach spiritual classes. I heal others in my spare time to help keep me empowered and to keep me more grounded and help me create my reality, because that's what I'm moving into. I also connect with nature every chance I can get. I'm always connecting with nature. I live in the beautiful mountains of Colorado, so I'm able to really tune in and tap in. And sometimes I need to remind myself that, right? It's so funny to get caught up in your reality, right? In certain moments, and then you just take a look outside. Like for me, for example, I take a look outside and I'm like, would you look at that? Would you look how beautiful this is? Where I live is so gorgeous. And it's so funny. It just really brings you back down to earth and makes you really grounded. And you realize, wow, I really needed to shift my perspective and see that. And like I've mentioned to you all, maybe this is my preparation phase before a big shift. What can I learn? What can I plan or build now that will set me up for success later? When I can focus on what I can do, the frustration loses its grip on me. And that, my friends, is true freedom. If you're feeling stuck right now, whether in a job, a relationship, or just in life, know this: it will not last. This too shall pass. It will not last forever. But how you handle this moment will shape of what comes next, will shape your reality. Know that you can handle this moment. Know that you can either let frustration consume you or use it as a tool for growth. So why don't you try one of these practices that I shared with you today? Whether it's drumming, journaling, or simply shifting your mindset. Let me know in the comments how this is going to affect your reality going forward. How is this going to shift your mindset and your reality? I know this journey isn't easy. Believe me, I'm learning things every single day on my journey. I am a student for life. I don't have it all figured out. I won't always have it figured out. But trust me, every experience is challenging you and preparing you for something greater. Keep going. You're not stuck. You're transforming. So my friends, if you found this video to be helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.